Welcome into the Lakers Report. I am Harrison Graham. Appreciate everybody for clicking on today's video. It's LeBron James' potential contract extension eve as he is eligible to sign a 2-year, $97 million extension tomorrow. And we'll wait and see if that happens. But we kind of wanted to explore some of the latest buzz, different scenarios that could happen, and pose some questions that could impact this potential decision for LeBron James. Obviously, coming off a great season. Things have been quiet, though. There hasn't been anything public about which way he's leaning in terms of committing to an extension or playing this final year of his contract out. So we kind of wait and see on that front. He would be an unrestricted free agent in 2023 if he doesn't sign that extension. Have the Lakers done enough? Does he feel like committing to them for an extra 2 years makes sense toward the back part of his career? I think that's a legitimate question he has to ask himself, and I think it's why it's at least possible that he plays this final year out to kind of wait and see how this year goes and then plays it from there. Now, if you want the Lakers to extend LeBron, first of all, you should like this video. For those of you who don't, if you're done with the LeBron era, let us know why you don't want to in the comments section below. So like the video if you want LeBron extended. If not, explain to us why in the comments section. All right, let's explore some things on today's show when it comes to this very topic. Should Los Angeles offer the deal? I think absolutely. Absolutely you should. And we've talked about this on a prior video about LeBron, about saying, hey, you should do this because at the end of the day, he's still a great player. Will he accept the extension? That's obviously a question what we're going to explore. What if it's only a 1-year extension to maybe line up with his son Bronny? That could be a possibility. What if he doesn't? What if he doesn't sign an extension? What does that mean? Could he get traded? And then where do the Lakers go from here if those things happen? So those are the 5 topics we are going to explore. So stay tuned coming up after this YouTube ad break. All right, question number 1. Should Los Angeles offer LeBron the extension entering year number 20? Now, we've been asked by a couple of people, why is it only a 2-year extension? Well, since he's older than 38, according to the new CBA, while you're under contract, max you can sign is a 2-year extension. Extending him is a no-brainer, and we outlined this on a recent show. Has the LeBron era been a mixed bag? Absolutely. He's had some injuries that he didn't really have early in his career. 1 title, otherwise kind of not reaching expectations the other 3 seasons. But at the end of the day, you're talking about, at worst, a still top 5 player in the NBA. Maybe he's not that on the 2-year extension, but he's probably going to be top 10 still. You absolutely keep that player. There's just no doubt about it. You let him go, I mean, what, you're building around Anthony Davis and pieces around him? I don't think so. You want to keep LeBron as long as possible. This is still an absolutely elite player. He had arguably his best year ever as a scorer a year ago. Not only did he average 30, he did it shooting over 52% from the field. He can still dish. He can still rebound. Sure, he's not locking in defensively night in and night out, but he can still play defense at a high level when he locks in. This is a no-brainer. You absolutely extend him. I mean, look at the year this guy had last year. 30 points per game in 56 games. Still dished it out quite a bit. Not his best assist numbers by any means, but I would argue that's because they didn't have the right pieces around him. Took more shots than ever, but when you shoot 52%, you'll absolutely let him do that. Three-pointers per game. He's shooting the 3-ball better and more often. And when he was healthy, he carried Los Angeles. I don't think there's any question. If he's not out there, you're a much worse basketball team. Subscribe to the Lakers Report because we will continue to give you the latest news and rumors in the offseason and on into the season as well. And if LeBron signs that extension, we'll have a video also. So stay tuned, stay locked in. We're going to continue to bring you videos almost every single day here on the Lakers Report. Question number 2, will LeBron accept the extension after a rocky season and kind of a rocky 4 years, like I said, despite the championship a couple of years ago? This team's made minor moves. Does he look at this like, I don't want to commit. I want to see how this year goes? It's possible. Here's what we know about LeBron. He's very unpredictable. I mean, hell, the LeBron going back to Cleveland rumors are already picking back up. Would it shock any of us if he went back for a 3rd time? I don't think so. I mean, I think anything is on the table for this guy. He's an unpredictable guy. Now, we do know that he's got roots in Los Angeles, multiple companies out there. His kids are in high school now, especially Bronny, who's got 1 or 2 years left of high school ball. So do you want to make that move? I don't know. Now, obviously, the family could still stay in LA if he plays for a different team, but I think it would take a decent amount to pry him elsewhere, but he may play this year out, and if it goes poorly, he could consider that. He's unpredictable, like I said. You look at the roster, and it's like, okay, some good, but okay, Thomas Bryant, decent addition. You still got the Russell Westbrook problem. We're going to talk more about that later on in the show. Hopefully Kendrick Nunn is back and healthy this year, gives you some punch. I like the Lonnie Walker addition. You need THT to take a step, so there's potential here, but unless AD is healthy all year, you don't have a reliable sidekick. I like Austin Reeves, but again, you just look at this roster as a whole and you're like, is there enough here to compete in the West? I don't know. I mean, look at these contenders. The Warriors, sure, they lost a couple role players. I don't think they're going anywhere. Phoenix, maybe they take a step back in terms of winning 60-plus games, but their core is still in place. Denver should improve if Michael Porter and Jamal Murray can get and stay healthy. Clippers should be much better with Kawhi back. We'll see about the Mavs. They lost Jalen Brunson, but they added a couple pieces, Christian Wood and JaVale McGee to the front court. Memphis is only going to get better, in my opinion. Same with Minnesota. They added Gobert. Pelicans, if Zion's back and healthy. This is stiff competition, man, in the Western Conference. I just showed you 8 teams. Could you say with guaranteed certainty that the Lakers are better than more than 1 or 2 of those teams, if any? I don't think so. Could they be top 4 in the West? Absolutely. Could they be the 9 or 10 seed again? Yeah, I would not rule that out whatsoever. So if you're LeBron and you're saying, hey, I'm not even sure we're a top 3 or 4 team in the West, much less a playoff team, maybe I just play this year out and see how it goes. So I ask you, predict it for us. Will LeBron James sign the contract extension? Because the Lakers are going to offer it. Type Y for yes. Type in for no. Will LeBron sign that extension as soon as tomorrow? Question number 3, what if LeBron signs a 1-year extension instead of a 2-year deal, which he is eligible for? It could happen. Like I said, very unpredictable. Bobby Marks here from ESPN. Even if James signs an extension, Lakers project to have nearly $23 million in cap next summer. While that cap space is significant, it's not enough to add a max-level free agent, which is part of the reason the Lakers should feel a sense of urgency to swap Russell Westbrook for Brooklyn Nets guard Kyrie Irving or multiple players under contract for next season, even if that means a future first-round pick is lost, which I've said that all along. If you have to dump a first-round pick to get rid of Russ, you should absolutely do it. But you look at some free agents next year. If LeBron commits to a 1-year extension, Kyrie's a free agent. Draymond, James Harden, I don't view those guys as, high likely targets, but you never know. Andrew Wiggins, Chris Middleton would be intriguing. Fred VanVleet's got a player option. DeAndre Hunter's restricted. Vucevic, Christian Wood, Miles Turner. There's going to be guys out there that you could bring in here, especially once you're out from Russell Westbrook's contract. Now, before we get to question number 4, we got this T-shirt combo for less than $30, just $28.49 right now at chatsports.com/Lakers combo. Link will be in the comments and in the description. A little short sleeve, long sleeve combo, good looking one as well. Represent the purple and gold all off season long. All right, question number 4. What if LeBron declines the extension and plays out the final season of his contract? You got to consider it as a possibility for all the reasons we've mentioned. Uncertainty on the roster, bad season last year. You still got the Russell Westbrook problem. I will say this. If LeBron declines, this is going to be a stressful year in Los Angeles because the pressure ramps up for the franchise. If he doesn't opt into an extension, you better make the playoffs and win a playoff series, because if they go like 500 or sneak in but don't do anything in the playoffs, LeBron could walk. I mean, that's a very realistic possibility. Should the Lakers consider trading LeBron if they get the same results on his expiring deal? I don't think they would do it before the season, but let's say they're 40 games in, trade deadline's coming up, and you're lurking around 500 and you're, in the range of the play-in tournament. Could the biggest trade in NBA history happen? Who knows, right? I think that would be a decision you'd have to make near that deadline. It would be hard to imagine a world where LeBron James gets traded, but at 38 years old, you can't rule it out as a possibility, especially if you are concerned that he will not sign with you after this season. All right, final question here. What moves can the Lakers make now or in the future to help LeBron win another championship? The obvious one continues to be some sort of Russ for Kyrie swap. Upgrading from Russ to Kyrie would be big. And I think you guys know me. I'm not a huge Kyrie guy. I think he's unreliable. and that's not just because of the vaccination status. In 11 seasons, he has only played 60 games or more 4 times. That shows an injury history and at times being a non-committed player. But he's clearly better than Russ. In the best basketball of his career was with LeBron. So I think that continues to be the route you should try to go, and the somewhat realistic one as well. More from Bobby Marks. The Lakers would acquire Irving's bird rights in a trade, allowing them to exceed the cap to sign the free agent guard next offseason. If the Lakers can't find a Westbrook deal to their liking, they could use their cap space next summer to add multiple players around James and Anthony Davis, similar to what they did in 2019. Russ needs to go before this season if you want to have success this season. It's just that simple. If I'm LeBron, I'm not signing an extension unless I feel good about the ability to move Russell Westbrook before this season tips off, because I just think at this point in his career, you can't win at a high level with him, especially when he's making $47 million. If he was making $15 million and coming off the bench, I'd feel differently, but that is just not the case because you're strapped with what you can do on your roster as long as he is on your books. Also, we all know the Bronny situation. It's coming up quick. Could you draft him in 2024? I mean, everything LeBron has said over the years is that he wants to play at least one season with his son. Could that impact his decision here, whether or not to extend on a 2 or a 1-year deal or to not extend at all? You got to at least assume that he would like to have flexibility on where he plays when his son is draft eligible. So keep that in mind. Also, now this is an interesting twist here. The Pelicans have the option on that first rounder from the Lakers in 2024 to defer the pick to 2025. That could impact things as well for when Bronny becomes draft eligible. So there's a lot that's at stake here. There's a lot of different things to consider if you are LeBron and the Lakers. So stay tuned, lock in, because tomorrow he becomes extension eligible. If an extension doesn't happen right away, that tells me he's still thinking about things because he's had plenty of time to think. And if he doesn't sign in the next couple of days, I think you could worry just a little bit that he might play this year out without a new deal. All right, thanks to everybody for making it to the end of the video. Here's the deal. We love all of our subscribers here at the Lakers Report, but the real ones make it to the end of the show. If that is you, if you're a real one, type real one in the comments and let us know that you made it to the end of the show. And we're going to make this a thing. You know, if you're a real one, just type real one on every Lakers Report video that you watch. I'm Harrison Graham. Appreciate you guys for watching today's show. Real ones stand up, and we'll see you next time.